Welcome in here tonight, race fans, to the Concord Speedway here tonight for the RS Button Box's Big Ten Super Series. We've raced here at the Concord Speedway weekly now for the past 4 weeks, and week number 5 right here is championship night. 4 drivers come in with a chance to win a championship, and it will all come down to the end of the 150-lap race here this evening. To bring you all the racing action here tonight, live from the Concord Speedway, my name is Roger Muth up in the production studios here tonight, and alongside me it is my great friend out of the New York State area, Al Smith. Al, welcome for championship night here. It is a very, very nice day here virtually at the Concord Speedway.
It's very nice down here. Glad to be able to make it back down to Concord for one last trip for the season finale. Double points on the line, and as you're talking about it, Roger, the weather couldn't be any better. 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 51% humidity, a little bit sticky, but not too bad. With a partly cloudy with a very, very slight breeze of 2 miles an hour. The track, though, triple digits, and we saw what that did on opening night. Will that determine who the champion will become here on championship night for the Big Ten Super Series RS Button Box Weekly Series?
And you talk about those drivers for the championship coming into the night. I said it. There's 4 drivers within 30 points of that top spot in the championship. RS Center comes in with a 19-point lead over Tom Scully. Brad Carpenter's back there 26 points out and only 4 points behind him. That's 30 points out of the championship number 1 spot. That is modesty. So realistically, double points on the line here for the final race of the season. All 4 of those drivers do have a chance. We'll break that down a little bit later on in the night after we see how this all starts to unfold. But let's take you through your starting lineup here tonight. Starting lineup, of course, is brought to us by our friends at RS Button Boxes. This is the starting lineup for the final race of the season. Starting on the front row, he drives car number 31, virtual of the invert from last week. Brad Carpenter will start the Bob's Pet and Pond number 31 in P number 1. Starting to his outside, he'll drive car number 1 with the Zap Motorsports entry. This is Harold Rothery. Starting back in P number 3, driving the Triple L Motorsports number 55 out of South Carolina, this is Jeremy Little. Starting in P number 4, he drives car number 6. He also races out of the Zap Motorsports stables. This is Rusty Modesty. The driver out of Georgia, driving the Bang Energy Ryan Kuhn Motorsports number 110. This is RS Center. Back into P number 6 here tonight. Drives car number 5. He goes by the name of Tom Scully. Starting into the back row here tonight, he drives car number 54. Has been very quick on the tour this season when he's in competition. Devin Landry will roll off from P number 7. P number 8 and shotgun to the field here tonight. It is the Mark Keatman Performance, number 52 of Mark Keatman. That is your 8-car starting lineup here for the final race of the season for the RS Button Box's Big Ten Super Series.
The nerves are up, a lot of on the line here tonight. Roger, RS Center coming in with a 19-point lead over Tom Scully. Those 2 drivers side by side on the grid. Crews given the last instructions as the lights are out on the pace truck. We're going to be going green this time off turn number 4. Pull those belts tight one more time.
So the final time here this season, we can start this one off here tonight at the Concord Speedway. It is the Big Ten Weekly Series. Here we are, green flag for championship night as Carpenter will lead us to turn number 1.
This turn number 1. Everybody seems to be able to get their 1 car up the racetrack. That is Modesty in that Sinclair number 6. He had to get up. Contact! Points champion Tom Scully going around after a contact with the 52 at Keatman. Yellow flag coming out here on the opening lap down in turn number 3.
As that 5-car pulls away down there out of turn number 3, there is a little bit of damage on that left rear of that Ryan Kuhn Motorsports setup shop entry number 5 for Tom Scully. Came into the night right there. We talked about it, just 19 points out of that championship hunt, and this is not the way you want to start this one out. That 5-car will come down to pit road, and there's another car coming down. I believe that is the 52 of Mark Keatman. 2 drivers that battled it out last week for the win here at the Concord Speedway. Or take the look back here. The truck says this is what they found here on the replay. Watch that number 5 entry down here in turn number 3. Does he get a little bit of help? No, he comes down onto the 52. Ow, that's going to send both drivers around. Heavy damage to the right front of car number 52 of Mark Keatman as he pulled away. But the Tom Scully entry, that has the championship implications.
It does, and I believe, possibly, Roger, taking a look at that replay right there, that maybe Scully saw the slowing car of Modesty, who was a little bit slow through that dog leg, and maybe that caused him to jerk that wheel a little bit to the left side and not realizing that the 52 of Keatman had already filled that real estate.
So that'll put us under caution for the first time here tonight. And taking a quick peek down there, I do see both drivers back out onto the speedway. There you see the 52 of Mark Keatman. He is out there. He is running around with the 7th position, officially being scored right now. Driver of the number 5 of Tom Scully, he will go shotgun to the field here after the first caution flag of the night coming out on lap number 2. One driver has led, though, since the drop of the green flag. He got the pole here tonight, in virtue of the 9-car invert that we did have. Of course, we have 8 cars here tonight for championship night for the Big Ten Super Series. So Carpenter did start on the front row out of that, the driver of that Independence Racing Bob's Pet and Pond entry. So the 31 of Carpenter will restart P number 1. To his outside, it'll be Jeremy Little in the RS button boxes. Number 55, that's your front row here as the official iRacing.com pace truck is down off the racing surface. Here we go. Out of turn number 3 this time. It'll be Carpenter leading us back into the restart zone as we are back green flag racing.
Carpenter and Little going to drag race down to the turn number 1. They both wash up the racetrack. Here comes your championship point leader to 110 of Center. Center drawing a bead on the back side of the side-by-side battle for your race lead. Off of turn number 3 across the stripe. It'll be Carpenter holding on to race lead. The challenge is for second.
That Bang Energy, number 110 is coming, as I believe there's some contact a little bit farther back into the field. I believe that was Keatman and Modesty getting together, and it looks like Modesty actually is going to have to pull at the pit road here, so he will go a lap down as the race leaders come by to complete lap number 7 here tonight. A little bit of a rough start for a couple of these Big Ten Super Series drivers.
Yeah, Mark Keatman, the only driver to go 2 wins on the season, headed into tonight's racing action, and already in a world of trouble here. Just 8 laps completed in this 150-lap season finale. Keatman and Modesty were in trouble in turn number 1. Yellow flag did not fly. So now Keatman some 10 seconds behind your race leader. Your top 4 have broken away as it's still Brad Carpenter up on the front of this one. The wily short track veteran showing the way over RS Center and Jeremy Little in third. But here comes the fastest man from practice, the 54 of Landry. He'll take a look down to the inside a little. Can't quite make the move, this time in the turn number 1.
Brand new paint scheme on car number 54 here this week for championship night. He brought the flat black here tonight, and he is making that car fast. They always say the black car is one of the fastest cars, most intimidating cars out onto the speedway. And right now, Devin Landry will surpass car number 55. That'll propel him now into P number 3 here. We've already knocked 11 laps into the books here tonight. Still about call a little over 15 and a half seconds per lap for race leader of Brad Carpenter, who still holds about a half a car length lead over that Bang Energy number 110 of RS Center. Center's had himself a heck of a season so far here leading up to championship night. Coming into night, he has completed 283 laps here. But here's the kicker, Al. Points championship leader has only led 1 lap all season.
And it shows you how consistency is important, along with being up front week in and week out. Landry able to get by him just now. So Landry now going to try to close in on the backside. And we got to talk about this could go long green flag run coming on up right now. So right now, these drivers got to be taking care of their tires. They do have 1 extra set of Mr. Feelgoods down on the pit side. They also have to come down and calculate how much fuel they will need to put in these super late models to make it the 150-lap distance.
Yeah, last time that we've gone over 100 laps here at the Concord Speedway was opening night. We went 125 laps to open up the season, and then we had a couple short stint races throughout the year. And then we have not, or the first race we had to make the pit stops. Every other race since then we have not, because it was 75, 60, and 80 was last week's lap count. 150 here tonight is the longest race of the season. And we will see pit stops have to come into play at some point, as it looks like your race leaders are working on to a slower car to the outside. I believe that's the number 6 of Rusty Modesty. He did just come back out onto the speedway, so car number 6 will rejoin the racing action here tonight. See a lot of damage, though, on the left front of that number 6.
Good for your race lead right now through turns 1. Landry took a peek to the inside. It'll be Carpenter slamming the doors shut on that Ryan Kuhn Motorsports number 54. Now it goes up high, trying to get the run down off turn number 3. Can't quite do it. Carpenter still your race leader, but Landry knocking on the back door of that number 31 as they work through the dogleg. RS Center runs in that 3rd spot. Roger, and well, right now doing what he needs to do. If the checkered flag were to wave, but he's still got 130 laps left to play this out here tonight. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, that is for sure. We've seen that all through the season. Anybody can take themselves to victory lane here at the Big Ten Super Series. So will Carpenter here on championship night park himself after 150 laps? Well, he's going to have to do that with Devin Landry all to the inside. And that Independence driver right there, that number 31, left the door open once again down in turns 1 through the dogleg. And he also is going to be about a half a car length off down in turn number 3. He'll lead another one out of lock him down into the books for 22 laps led here tonight. That is more laps already here tonight at Concord in championship night than Carpenter has led all season long leading up to this final race of the season. But how many more will he be able to take off the big board here tonight, because Landry is still there. That Ford Mustang is just eating up on the bottom side of the speedway here tonight as they come down into 3. Here comes the 54 to the inside.
Landry takes the peek to the inside. It'll be Carpenter trying to get the momentum, but Landry will steal the race lead that time at the line. New race leader, our first lead change of the evening. We'll see Devin Landry go to the race lead. Now RS Center starting to bang on the back bumper. That 31 of Carpenter off of turn number 3. Carpenter still holds on to second. Jeremy Little, coming up here with that RS button box number 55. He is closed back in on the back side of the 110 of RS Center in the turn number 3. Top 4 cars breaking away from Tom Scully, who runs 5th. Rothery, Keatman, and Modesty. That is how your field runs. Just 26 laps in. And Roger, right now these drivers communicating down on pit road what their car is doing. Being a fixed setup, not much they can do, but they can start moving that brake bias as that time Center gets a little bit losing contact with Little.
So Jeremy Little there in car 55, one of the wily veterans here of the series. One driver that, well, you talked about echoing down to pit road to see what they need. Jeremy Little is one of those drivers that will save the tires all night long through the final run here tonight. Of course, we will be able to stop to put on brand new racing tires on that 55 of Little here. Well, maybe a little over halfway. Al, the strategy, I know it's very early yet tonight, but you're talking about when we're going to come to pit road, because we will have to come to pit road, whether it's going to be under green flag conditions, which these drivers have a tendency to go very long green flag runs. We've seen it all season long, or whether it's under caution flags. But if it goes green, when do you put the tires on? Do you want less laps at the end of the race with fresh tires, or do you want to be the first one down on pit road no matter what when that pit window opens?
Yeah, I think it really depends on what your situation is, Roger, at the time that happens. If you're a Mark Keatman type driver who sees himself 10 seconds behind, I think you have to wait to the latest part of when you can come in, because just in case you catch that yellow flag, maybe you trap some of these drivers down on pit road. We do know it's going to take about 15 to 20 seconds of fuel to take and put fuel in these cars to make it the distance. And right now, all these long green flag laps, the lap times have started to come down a little bit, about half a second fall off, so that's helping on the aid to save fuel. But these super late models with big horsepower still sucking down that VP racing fuel as they work down here in the turn number 1. And these drivers, I think, well, it really depends on your situation. That's what I'm going to say from my seat, but don't take it from me. I am not very good on the pit strategy. It burns me every time. But I think if I'm leading it, I kind of stay out, wait to see if we get a quick yellow once pit stops start happening, see if we can trap some people one lap down.
Right now, though, there is 7 drivers on the lead lap, and Keatman is, of course, 10.5 seconds back behind the race leader of Devin Landry right now. Last time by, Landry laid down a 16-second flat lap at the start-finish line. So, well, right now, Keatman has, well, we'll call it 6 seconds right now that he is ahead of Devin Landry. You don't want to go lap down. Oh, one car into the outside wall on the front straightaway. That was the 31 of Carpenter, who I was about to go to next and say he's been able to hold strong with Devin Landry, since Landry did get around that 31 of Carpenter. He was sitting there at about, maybe 4 car lengths back, maybe half a second. Now it's opened up to, well, call almost 10 car lengths here on lap number 38. So maybe Carpenter backing off the loud pedal a little bit. RS Center, he has just been riding back here all night long. He came in with that points championship lead over Scully, and with Scully having the issues that he has had on lap number 2, all RS Center needs to do here tonight is finish right there with that 5 car, and currently he is sitting 3rd, and Scully is back there into the 5th position. There you see him coming into the picture with his Toyota. He'll work out of turn number 3 here. Lap 40 about to be in the books, though, for Devin Landry. He is still the race leader.
And how much do you think that is for Center right now, kind of coming in here, knowing the point situation, but also knowing we're only 40 laps in. We still have 110 laps to go. No need to really push the issue, kind of ride out, save those tires, and especially since this has a green flag field to it right now. The field's pretty spread out around this racetrack as they work around here. One battle will be for the 6th spot here in a few laps, as Keatman starting to close in on the backside of that Rothery automobile, about a second behind. That will be that battle for that 6th position. But right now, just kind of ride it out. You said, Jeremy Little, very good at saving tires. He rides in the 4th spot, just keeping these guys in check. Seems like he can close in on them at will. But right now, it stays about 5 car lengths off the back bumper of RS Center.
Yeah, Center doesn't have to do anything crazy here tonight. He just has to make sure at the checkered flag when it does wave, because it is double points night here tonight at Concord, that he has to be within 2 positions of Tom Scully. So if Scully goes out and wins the big whole bang here on championship night, that means RS Center would have to finish right there in that 3rd position to still be able to hold serve here after all the points and all the chips were tallied up at the end of the night. And right now, with Scully being 2 positions behind, RS Center is the one that is sitting in the catbird seat. We also mentioned other drivers here. There was 4 drivers coming into the night. We talked about Rusty Modesty, and of course he has already had some issues with that number 6 machine. You see both front pieces of this car have been beaten and banged up. He is 9 laps down currently here on lap number 46. So he is, if you take it out of contention right now, he is sitting about 60 points actually back behind the points championship leader of RS Center as they run right now, without the final official bonus points and all that added into that one. But Modesty was also battling Carpenter, and if he was able to just beat Carpenter by 1 spot, he would have had that 3rd position, at least in the points championship battle. One driver just making a move on the raceway, moving up on our timing and scoring. That's the Mark Keatman entry, that barbecue pit stop entry. He just picked up the 6th spot from Rothery. Rothery now going back to 7th on the big board here tonight. So as everybody continues to shuffle and get into their long run groove here tonight, we've had only 1 caution flag back on lap number 3 when Scully and Keatman got together. Since then, we have been all green flag racing here at this tricky little triangle-shaped track.
The driver's doing a great job. This track is very tricky. We talked about it all season long. Just how tricky and difficult this track is. 3 different ways as we've hit the 1/3 mark. 50 laps are in. So we're closing in on the halfway marker. And I believe, Roger, somewhere between lap 80 to 110 is when we should start seeing cars coming down pit road, or that fuel tank starting to get a little bit light on the fuel that's inside there. As now RS Center takes a look to the inside of Carpenter. Can't quite make it stick. Now he'll stick it down low once again in turn number 1. They'll draw even through the dog leg.
As they were even coming out of turn number 1 and through the log leg down there in turn number 2, RS Center now will power ahead in that Bang Energy. He'll take another sip out of that energy drink, and now he will take that 2nd spot. Now look who's looking for 3rd, though. Here comes Mr. Consistency, the 55 of Jeremy Little. Look to the inside of that Bob Patton pod number 31. He elected, though, to get out of the throttle. He left the 31 and had it because he knows there's still a long way to go. Just under 100 laps left here on championship night. There's still a long way to go before they're even going to start to break out that check down there in victory lane to start writing whose name will go on it. Right now, It is Landry out front with RS Center in second. Brad Carpenter is back there in third, but he is being hounded by the 55 of Jeremy Little.
And Jeremy Little, member opening night, had to take this car back to Greenville, South Carolina, put a new front clip on the 55, and since then this car has been fast, not finishing outside the top 3 out of the last 2 races here. So Little, this car really coming to life after having to put that front clip on it, as he has to play with the throttle behind him. As Carpenter starting to reel back in RS Center for that battle for your number 2 spot.
So they come back across the line. Center's in second, Carpenter's in third, and Little is in fourth, but they are nose to tail. It's 3 cars under a little bit of a blanket here for that second position. One little slip up, one little mistake, miscue, and you will find yourself back into that 4th position. Possibly Little holds the 4th position, but he doesn't want to be there very long. He'll arc it down into turn number 1 as Brad Carpenter went for the defensive line down there in turn number 1. So there's definitely a little bit of different strategies that you can run. A little bit of lines. Look at that 55. Little will go to the outside once again down there in 3, but that time he slipped coming off the corner.
Definitely going to do a 3-car battle here as they work around the racetrack. All happening some 2.5 seconds behind Landry. Landry's about gone to the checkout window around here, trying to leave the keys there. We've still got 91 laps to go as they work lap number 60. Little still hounding the backside of the 31 of Carpenter. Carpenter in the outside concrete has to check it up. Little gives him some room. Great driving by these drivers in very difficult situation right there when someone gets the outside wall.
One car did just get the outside wall. That was the number 1 of Harold Rothery. Now the 31 of Carpenter back into the outside wall again here as we ride on board with Jeremy Little. Little trying to get to the inside once again of that 31. Now this time down to the turn number 1. He'll pull even, but Little's going to touch the apron. He'll wash up the speedway. It'll be Brad Carpenter holding that 3rd spot.
That really had to check up to 55. The RS button box number 55 of Little has to dial it back in. He'll close back in there. You saw how easy it is to get down on that apron, and that is a very steep decline and banking, and it'll really upset these race cars. Little doing a great job to hold on to that race car. Now has to close back in on the backside of the 31 of Carpenter, and RS Center still right there in front of Carpenter. Don't know, maybe Center is just biding his time managing those Hoosier race tires. Remember, they only get 1 extra set down on pit road. When will they take it? Will they come in just for fuel? We're about 10 laps from what I believe will be the start, the opening of the window for the pit stops.
Remember, though, back on opening night, I believe it was Mark Keatman who put only 2 tires on opening night under his pit stop, and that did not fare out well for him as he finished a little bit deeper into the field than what he should have that night. Everybody on those 4 fresh tires ate him up. Talking about being eaten up right now, there's the one of Rothery. He's going to get passed by RS Center. Carpenter's going to make the pass also. Now Jeremy Little's trying to get that Triple L Motorsports 55 underneath contact. Little into the outside retaining wall.
Your 4th place car getting turned around and the yellow flag coming out. I was just getting ready to say that is a very difficult spot to be side by side off turn number 3. Very tight there. And around will go the 55 of Little after contact with the number 1 of Rothery. Yellow flag number 2 coming out. And that is a big sigh of relief for the number 54 or 52 of Keatman, as now everybody starts to come down pit road.
Yeah, right now is probably going to be the time that everybody will now take advantage here and at least put fuel in the car. I don't know if they're going to put 4 fresh tires on these machines right here, or if they're just going to put fuel in it. And we're going to find it out here as we wait for the truck to gather up that replay. We're going to see here if Landry is going to put on 4 tires. Well, let's see. There's the gas tank. Now the right side tires are going on the Ryan Kuhn Motorsports setup shop number 54. So at least right side tires for the 54. He is down and away, so it'll be a 2-tire stop for race leader of Devin Landry.
Brad Carpenter putting right sides on, our center down. Everybody taking a 2-tire stop on the right side so far. Tom Scully still on pit road putting fuel in that number 5. He is down and away. Jeremy Little stayed out, led a lap, now comes down pit road with that battered number 55. Going to have to take a look at some extensive front end repair work on this RS button box as he pulls into his pit stop.
So as Little comes to a rest in his pit stall, this is what happened here. Watch car 55 as he tries to get around the one, maybe the one off the outside of the speedway down in turn number 3, sending Jeremy Little up into the outside concrete down going into turn number 1. See a lot of damage on the RS button box as 55. We'll have to see if we have another look at this. They tell us we do. Let's take a look from our chopper high above here, and just two drivers, it seemed like, trying to get back into the throttle coming out of turn number 3, and they make the contact, and unfortunately around goes the 55 with Jeremy Little, who was running at the time of the incident right there in P number 4. Watch it again, and yeah, Little just into the outside wall. So got a little help. Call that a little bit of an assist.
Tough break for Little, running inside the top 5, still down on pit road as the pace car will come by. I believe he will lose at least one lap, maybe more, as they try to fix the front end of this number 55 as the pace car is going to come on by. So they're still down there fixing it. And right now, I like the call. Take your time, fix the car, make sure it's going to be as right as possible. Is this right? And you go down a lap. Oh, you never know if you get another yellow flag. Get back on the lead lap. But at least one lap down will be Jeremy Little when he comes off pit road. The tough break for the driver of that 55.
So the iRacing.com pace truck will make its way to pit road here after the second caution flag of the evening. We're getting going here. The green flag back into the air right before the halfway point. Devin Landry still out front. RS Center is in second. Carpenter will battle now with the number 5 of Scully. They will battle for the third position out of 2.
Side by side, Scully in the outside fence. That's going to allow the 31 of Carpenter to get by. Only 4 cars on the lead lap as Keatman went down fixing some damage on that 52 during this last yellow flag. So right now, 4 cars on the lead lap looking for a quick yellow flag. Rothery was able to take and get back on the lead lap. Keatman going to battle for that position as they work off this all 1 second behind Devin Landry, who's checked out on the field as we got cross flags being furloughed, this time off turn number 3. They'll be halfway in, 75 are in, 75 to go.
So with halfway down on this one, it is going to be Devin Landry as the race leader here at the halfway point here tonight at the Concord Speedway for the Big Ten Super Series, presented by RS Button Boxes. Here at the halfway point, we got to thank RS Button Boxes for their continued support here with the Big Ten Super Series. They joined us in season number 1, and they joined us once again this season on the short track side of things here for our weekly series at Concord. And of course, well, the champion here tonight will take home one of those RS Button Boxes, so whoever it is, there's going to be one lucky driver for their sim rigs. They're going to get a little more, well, advanced, we should say. Brake knobs, starters, anything you need, RS Button Boxes has it. You dream it, they build it, and they send it to you, plug and play, ready to go to your iRacing rig. We also got to thank Karma Salon and Day Spa. Al, you were just there the other day as one driver has problems, I believe. That was the one of Harold Rothery.
Yeah, Rothery got a little bit sideways there, taking a little bit of the polish off the nails that he got done at the Karma Salon and Day Spa. Well, he keeps it pointing in the right direction. He's back there, but Mark Keatman able to get by him. And Keatman has been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack tonight. You see he's still trapped 1 lap down, but the side-by-side battle in front of him. Tom Scully to the inside of Carpenter. This is for position number 3. Scully's going to complete the pass, this time pass underneath the stripe.
So right now, 3 drivers inside the top 4 are, well, 3 of your championship hopeful drivers. RS Center is running in P number 2. Tom Scully, who was second in the points championship standings coming in, he is running now 3rd. Brad Carpenter, who was 3rd coming in, he is now running 4th overall here as we are over halfway home on championship night. Does look like 4 drivers still on the lead lap here tonight. Keatman and Rothery are 1 lap down. Modesty is sitting at 8 laps down, and Little has yet to return to the racing surface. He is still sitting down on pit road for the last 5 minutes, now 10 laps off the race pace of Devin Landry. So Landry still out front, setting that blistering pace, about a 1.5 seconds up over RS Center and Tom Scully. Carpenter is still right there, but he's got somebody looking in the mirror. That's the 52 of Mark Keatman. It's not a battle for position. Remember, the Keatman 52 is sitting 1 lap down in 5th.
Keatman there, keeping him honest, knowing he's got a good car. Just needs a quick yellow flag with 7 cars out on the racetrack. Not sure if we will see that. RS Center, though, starting to cut into Landry's lead. 1.6 seconds at the stripe. Landry a little bit slower that time, or actually Landry the fastest car last time by, with a 15.85 compared to RS Center's 15.74. So right now, that driver in that number 2 spot doing what he needs to do to hoist the big trophy here as they work around the racetrack. One car down on pit road. That's the number 6 of Rusty Modesty. He has gone to pit road here on lap number 87.
Well, that'll take the Illinois driver out here tonight of the championship contention, I believe, altogether, because he's 9 laps down now as he pulls into his pit stall. Unfortunately, that's going to now drop him more laps down. The U.S. Legend Open Series driver having a very rough one here on championship night. But, man, that is not what you can say for Devin Landry. Landry's having himself one heck of a party out front, and I don't think he's inviting any of the drivers here tonight that are behind him as he continues to set some of the fastest times. Last time by, 15.88 second lap to RS Center's 15.97 seconds. So, 10th of a second right there. Last time by, Devin Landry was able to pull in that number 54 machine. I don't see him letting off the gas anytime soon. And remember, Al, we're over halfway home here as we approach the 100 lap marker tonight. And all these drivers were already on pit road, and they put right side tires on everybody super late model.
Everybody working around here doing a great job. It's going to be interesting to see. They only took 2 right sides. So by my calculation, Roger, if they wanted to come back down for more tires, that would only be left sides they would be able to put on. Not quite sure how much that would help these drivers in a late run situation. Right now, the Landry out on the front of this one. I haven't quite tested that out in our test sessions when we get able to get behind the wheel of these super late models. I would have to say that it probably would not make these cars fun to drive with having fresh left side tires.
Yeah, and I don't believe we're going to see anybody do that here tonight. As long as they can have enough fuel packed in the fuel cells here, I believe you will see them just stick to those older tires. Because you can put fuel in it, and yeah, it's going to change the handling a little bit, but just putting left side
turn
tires.
Number 3, the Rothery down to the inside, yellow flag coming out there, Roger. Trying to jump on you, but Rothery had just spun in front of your race leader, and then this race lead is going to be erased here with coming to 40 laps to go.
So while that puts us under our 3rd caution flag here tonight, one driver is actually coming down pit road, and that will be the Bob's Pet and Pond number 31 entry. Rothery did take the tow to pit road, so we'll have to wait and see what the truck has to say. But what is going through the mind right now, this number 31, the Bob's Pet and Pond independent racing driver, as he'll hit pit stall number 1. That's where he was qualified here tonight, virtue of the invert. And he is actually going to put those left side tires on right here. Al, we're going to get the answer to that question.
Interesting play call here. We'll see if it helps grip on around the bottom of the racetrack. We'll have to wait and see. Dietman going to get back on the lead lap. Roger, we talked about how he needed a yellow flag to get back into this one. Now he'll restart in that 5th position behind the 31 of Garberg, as I believe he'll get that virtue of being the free pass car.
And he has been down pit road. I believe he did put the 4 fresh tires last time he was on pit road, and the truck says, though, this is what happens to Rothery. There you see the BC number 1 entry out there. Rothery, let's see what happens. A little sideways down in 3, and unfortunately just came around, and that wall, once you get down there, with the damage on that left front, it just sucked him right around, and that's what will bring out the caution flag. So a solo spin here. I believe on lap number 92 is what put us under caution flag. It is Devin Landry out front here. He is your race leader with RS Center back there in 2nd. Tom Scully is 3rd. Carpenter will be scored and shown 4th here, and I believe one driver just came right back down pit road. I believe Keatman has pulled car 52 to pit road here. We'll see if he can get that car back out, or if he's just getting damaged. It does look like they will send him back out. A couple bare bond pieces on that car, and they send him right back out onto the track. It'll be about 50 laps to go here when we do go back green flag racing, Al, and it is Landry, Center, Scully, Carpenter. Now Keatman does look like Rothery, Modesty, and Little will be down on pit road.
Yeah, maybe a little bit damage fixed with the 52 of Heatman maybe adding a little bit of fuel, Roger. Might as well take it. At this point, you're going to restart in that 5th position. Maybe make sure you get a little insurance fuel inside the fuel cell. I guess we will find out here. Keatman going to restart 5th, but it was Landry jumping on the loud pedal. We are back underway, and a great jump by Landry over RS Center. Scully is in 4th, Carpenter 4th, and then it'll be the 52 of Keatman. Your top 5 cars down here. Remember, the 31 of Carpenter taking fresh left side tires. Let's see how that plays out with him as he starts to close in on the back side of the 5 of Tom Scully. A little bit sideways through the dogleg. Here comes Keatman to the inside.
Keatman will throw car number 52 down to the inside here on that 31 of Carpenter, and Carpenter's actually going to be able to gas it up on the outside and hold that spot for the time being. Nothing has changed out front. It's still Landry. It's still RS Center and Tom Scully. You're watching the best battle on the speedway. Here is the 52 of Keatman trying to rebound from lap number 1 incident down in turn number 3. Oh, big wiggle that time to the 31.
Big wiggle that time, and then Carpenter up the racetrack. He'll kiss the concrete in the dog leg, so he'll knock Carpenter back to the 5th spot. Keatman able to get by, and he'll close in on the battle for 2nd. As RS Center still holding on to it, but the 5 of Scully starting to close in on him as the Ryan Keith Motorsports number 5 closes on the Bang Energy 110 of Center.
Both drivers out of the Ryan Kuhn Motorsports stable, so both drivers have the coach up there watching tonight, trying to coach them up, to tell them where the groove is migrating to here tonight. Of course, Ryan Kuhn was the champion back in season number 1 for the Big Ten Super Series, as he did not return here to defend his championship, to run the weekly series here at Concord. He's been in the stands and up on top of the haulers all season long, helping these drivers out, trying to coach them up, get them prepared for whatever will be coming next for their series. As it does look like Scully that time slipped off the corner. He'll lose about a half a car length over RS Center, who continues to just do exactly what he needed to do here tonight.
Top 3 cars are all...
Contact. Scully got to go through the dog leg there sideways. He was in a 4-tire slide, slaps the right side of that number 5 off the wall, and now there is heavy damage and has pancaked the right-hand side for Scully.
Tough break for Scully, able to hold on to it, though, keeping the car pointing in the right direction, but the 52 of Keatman smells the blood in the water, trying to make it onto the podium here tonight. He closes in on the back side of that 5 of Ryan, of the number 5 of Scully. Still about 5 car lengths separating those 2 drivers, 2 turns 3, and down the front stretch they come. Another wiggle out of Scully. Scully's car might be wounded, and Keatman trying to capitalize on that with 41 laps to go.
Possibly now those right side tires for the number 5 have been damaged by hitting the outside wall. Keatman trying to now pounce with that barbecue pit stop number 52. He's been to victory lane here a handful of times already this season in the races that he was able to compete in. Keatman making 3 out of the 5 races. This would be his 4th one, and he has won 2 so far this season. Every time he shows up, though, he's been inside the top 5, so he has top 5 speed in car 52. He just has to now, well, get around one car, and he could park it inside the top 3 here tonight. They're knocking another one off the big board here. It'll be 112 laps have been completed here tonight at the Concord Speedway. It's Landry, it's Center, it's Scully, it's Keatman. And while we're paging here through and looking at Scully and Keatman, when you look at Scully's stats this season, he has led 90 laps coming into the night. He has had one of the lowest incident counts with the Big Ten Super Series. So at this point, which is what put him in that championship hunt, he's completed 285 laps, 1 win this season, and 4 top 10 finishes. And his average finish, though, 5th position. He's doing 2 spots better so far here tonight, but still a little bit of racing left before we can crown a champion and figure out who will take home the big prize.
And that last time by in turn 3, Scully and Keatman, they played a little bit of bumper contact. Now they separate themselves out, let themselves settle in it back out as they all race behind the 110 of Center, who's still trying to chase down Landry. Landry's opened up to a 2-second lead over that 110 of Center. But Center, right now, if the checkered flag were to wave, we could crown him the 2021 Big Ten Super Series Concord champion. As looks like the number 5 of Scully with a little bit of electrical issues, able to come back. He'll hold on to that third spot. A little bit of electrical issues could be starting to rear up on to number 5 as he enters turn number 1.
Yeah, he just tapped the wall down the front straightaway right as he came underneath the flag stand. So the 5 of Scully definitely having a little bit of handling issues. He also sees the 52 back there. They've had a couple run-ins this season. He's already played the 3-tap Teddy on the back bumper of car number 5. Carpenter's still hanging around back here. He's about a second back behind these two drivers. Those tires, those left side tires, Al, we talked about it. We didn't know if anybody was going to try that strategy. And, well, Carpenter's team said we paid for them. We might as well use them here tonight. It just does not seem to be playing out the way they thought.
Yeah, it made the car extremely loose, which was something that I was curious to see. I was hoping it was going to pay out, but it looks like it maybe now that the air pressure is. We got a bid for your third spot. Scully up the racetrack. Here comes Keatman. Keatman down low to the inside of Tom Scully. It'll be into that third position, still door to door in the turn number 3.
Keatman trying that bottom groove here. Scully's going to give him the bottom, but here comes Carpenter also. Now the 52 of Keatman will take that third position. Now he's going to get sideways. I don't know if there was contact. There's contact between Carpenter to the back of the Scully. All drivers keep it pointed in the right direction, but that could have been pretty big as they were just sideways back there, hanging on to those cars. Everybody getting a little piece of each other.
Tough break there. Right there is the 31 of Carpenter. Tried to capitalize on it, but had to jump on the binders as well. Now Scully going to try to chase down the 52 of Keatman as we close in on the later stages of this race. And Landry out on cruise control right now, Roger. They've really made some nice adjustments to that automobile, and he has found a liking with 25 laps to go.
Yeah, 25 laps to go here tonight in the season finale for the Big Ten Super Series. Once again, we also got to thank another one of our sponsors that have come on board here this season, Johnson's Chassis Incorporated, for sponsoring the weekly Clean Driver Award also. Make sure to check them out for your real-life chassis needs. Of course, virtually they supplied all the chassis this season for the super late models here at Concord. And let me tell you, race fans, they've been able to hold up to anything these drivers have thrown at them. And, of course, we got to thank Austin Edwards for giving the setups to the chassis also this season, putting in the man hours, the leg work behind the scenes to build a very stable and sturdy setup. And, of course, if you're looking for free setups to run weekly, make sure to head on over to the Edwards Setup Shop, Austin Edwards, and tell him we sent you over there, and he should definitely one day possibly get out here behind the microphone with Al and myself. We can't wait for Austin to maybe make his debut here one night.
Be very good to have him out there, and it's hard to believe that, Roger, just a little over a year ago I made the debut with you in the booth here, and it has been a great ride since then. And I tell you who's got a great ride is Devin Landry, who is showing the way over our center. Jeremy Little back out onto the racetrack with that 55. You saw him just there out of the back of the screen. So the crew doing a great job putting that car back together. A little some 56 laps down, trying to make some ground up. I believe he'll be able to pass at least Rusty Modesty, so that will be worth some points, which could mean a big change in where he finishes in the championships settings. Here is now Carpenter has gone around Tom Scully on the outside.
Yeah, I was just noticing contact now between them as they come through turns 2, now working into turn number 3. I didn't see what happened to Scully. I was watching the 55. I was trying to see if there was any body panels that may be ready to fall off the 55 with Jeremy Little, but they look good. And then I looked up, and all of a sudden Carpenter was to the outside of the number 5 of Scully. Keatman has now ran away. There you see the 52 of Keatman. He made that pass about 10 laps ago, and since then he has put his right foot in the gas pedal, and he has absolutely taken off from Carpenter and Scully, and now Scully's back there running in 5th. A night that could have been for Scully is now looking a little bit slimmer and slimmer every time we come back around the flag stand, because it'll knock another lap off the board there, and now it's just 17 laps remaining. Scully really needs to find something here tonight, and remember, there is no more tires left down in the pit road for these drivers to put on, so it's kind of what you get is what you get at this point. Scully will hit the apron down there in turn number 3. That car pushed like a dump truck, and it just plowed into the wall.
Yeah, and you got to remember this guy came in third in the standings, now loose again into the outside wall, hard again. He'll keep it pointing in the right direction, and we stay green. Scully came in 7 points above Brad Carpenter. So all he's got to do is keep Carpenter behind him. He'll hold on to that second position in points as they all chase behind our center. So a great season regardless for the 5 of Scully. He holds on to that 5th position, trying to close in. So not enough point separation, but only with Jeremy Little behind him, but be very confident in saying that Tom Scully will be at least second in the point standings here tonight, barring any damage by RS Center that would not come out of this race. Here is now he'll go down 1 lap to your race leader, and I gotta say, probably knocked the toe out of that car, hitting the outside wall a few laps ago and then hitting it again. That car is very ill handling for the 5 of Tom Scully.
Yeah, that car, you can see he's cranking a lot of wheel into it down there in turn number 3 just to try and get that car to turn. There you see Jeremy Little right behind him. Remember, he just returned to the racing surface. More issues for the 5 of Scully as he'll go up into the outside wall that time through the dog leg there in turn number 2. Now Little will take his 55 down to the inside, so it's Landry as they get the double high five. 10 laps to go. It's Landry out front. RS Center, your championship leader, sitting there in second. Mark Keatman currently rounding out the top 3. And you are right, Al, I'm doing the numbers in my head here. Scully, with where he is running and with how many laps are left on the speedway here tonight, he will finish 5th overall in this race, barring something doesn't happen to any of the drivers out ahead of him. And then that will give him a second-place finish as he's still having some handling issues on car number 5.
And Scully just knows that 8 more circuits to get to the checkered flag and put a good season in the books for that driver, as Landry still shows the way 5 seconds over what will be your champion of RS Center right now. But 8 more laps make it 7 at the line. In RS Center, counting it, starting to hear every little noise inside that race car, thinking maybe something could be going wrong. That's what happens when you get into these pressure situations trying to win the championship.
And it's still crazy, man. I keep looking over at that stat sheet for RS Center as he'll come by and get 6 laps to go this time by. He has only led 1 lap all season long here at Concord. It was 1 lap, and that was back in the week number 1 here, where we went 127 laps. It was 2 laps over the scheduled distance as they see the 5 fingers in the air. It's just 5 more times around the circuit here tonight. But boy, Al, that's got to be something that I don't think I've ever seen before.
No, and also noticing not seen victory lane yet this season as well. And unless something happens to Landry, I don't think that's going to change. So that just shows the consistency. 4 races, 4 top 10s, and the only driver to finish inside the top 3 times, or the top 5 3 times out of the 4 starts here tonight, and looking to make it 4 for 5 as he runs in the second spot. As this time off turn number 3, the 54 Landry is going to see the popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go here tonight at Concord for the Big Ten Super Series presented by RS Button Boxes, and it is Devin Landry who has dominated all evening long. He took the race lead after about 50 laps being put down on the racing surface, and this time by, he'll look to take the white flag. It is 1 more lap to go here before we put the nail in the coffin in the season. We're about to find out if Devin Landry can navigate 2 more corners. Good through turn number 2 as he comes out of turn number 3. He'll look up at the flag stand. He will see the checkered flag. Your race winner will be Devin Landry, who will finish in the second position. Here comes the 110 of RS Center. He is going to be finishing second here tonight, and he will be your Big Ten Super Series champion. RS Center will finish second. Mark Keatman will finish third. Brad Carpenter will come home 4th across the line. That will put him looking like that is a 3rd place championship finish for the driver of that 31. Scully will come across there in 5th position. That'll navigate him into a 2nd place finish in the point standings overall, as there is your race winner doing the victory donuts here tonight. There's your series champion that pulls up right alongside him. Finishing out a running order, though, Jeremy Little is going to be scored in 6th. 7th will go to Rothery, and Modesty will finish back there in the 8th position. Landry going to tag the outside wall. He doesn't need this car anymore, Al. It's a victory car, and the season is over.
It is there, and a great job here tonight as he still celebrates, come down the front stretch as we all pull down there. Saw the burnout. Very excited driver behind the wheel of the 54 of Devin Landry, picking up his second win of the season. And we will catch up with your podium here and your champion coming right up here after a quick word from our sponsors.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Concord Speedway here tonight for the RS Button Box's Big Ten Super Series Championship night. Of course, it was week number 5 here, and all these drivers that came in here, well, there was 4 of them that had the hopes that they could win a championship here at the famous Concord Speedway. We'll clue you in on where everybody's going to finish here in just a couple of seconds, but I believe, Al, you have caught up with the man that's sitting down in victory lane here tonight. He'll win the final race of the season.
Yeah, we are down here in RS Button Box Victory Lane with Devin Landry. And Devin, you're going to put win number 2 on the season into the record books. But, man, you had to make work for this one. Not only coming from the back, getting the Karma Salon and Day Spa Hard Charger race, but you also got that Johnson Chassis Clean Driver Award as well here tonight. Talk us through this race. How difficult was it out there, and the strategy that you had to mind when we get that yellow flag around halfway?
Oh, I really had to change up my drive style, I feel. I was really impatient a while ago. So we changed up the driving style, and I think that benefited me quite a bit tonight. Helped me get up through the field. And being behind Brad, I just was patient, waited, made him use up his stuff, and then finally got underneath him.
Yeah, talk about that heated battle that you had there with Brad Carpenter on the racetrack, really working the back side of him. We saw you poke the nose down low a few times, but that was early on in the stages where you're thinking, all right, I'll just follow him, see what he can do, see maybe if I learn something, and then pounce.
It was more of just waiting. I didn't want to make a dumb move like I did last week, like spinning out Jeremy. So I just waited. I was thinking about trying the top, and it just really wouldn't work. His car wouldn't turn in the center, so I just rode behind him, was waiting for it, and then finally made him slip up and got up underneath him.
Well, you drove the wheels off this race car all night long, coming up, picking up 6 spots from your 7th starting position here tonight. Like I said, you're going to grab that Karma Salon and Day Spa Hard Charger for yourself, but a great night overall, great season overall. Still waiting for the final calculations to find out where you finished, but possibly a top 5 in the points. But overall, a great season here tonight, coming to an end at the Concord Speedway.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. I missed that points race. I really felt like we could have won the championship, but I had prior commitments going on. So I was actually at a racetrack, I think. So it was just, I wasn't able to get home, but I'm really looking forward to this off season. Um, Races in real life are coming to an end finally. It's been a long season, and I'm ready for this off season. I think it's gonna be really fun.
Definitely going to be a great time during the off season. But before we let you go here tonight, who makes it all possible to get you here in the RS Button Box victory lane here tonight?
I gotta thank RKM Setup Shop, Ryan Coon Motorsports, Studio 10 Wraps, me and everybody on the car, everybody who supported me. Even gotta thank the haters. I mean, they support you too, just by booing you. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for streaming it. Thanks for Jeremy for putting this all on, and Chris being in race control.
Well, there you have it from tonight's race winner, Roger. Devin Landry going to pick up the win, and he's looking forward to this off season. I think you have caught up with our third place finisher down here on the front stretch.
Yeah, I did catch up with the third place finisher here tonight of Mark Keatman. Mark, a very rough night for you, though. It all started back on lap number 2, where you and I believe at the time it was Scully got together as you guys had to start out back here tonight. What went down on lap number 2?
As far as I know, I guess he just lost it. Really sucks just get taken out that early in a very long race. People driving over their heads, I feel like. They just need to ease back and let the car come to them. And then, right after that, getting put in the wall with no caution really didn't help either. I feel like I had a really fast car. If I could have been up there, it would have been a really good race for the end with Devin. I think at one point at the end I was catching RS, and then I don't know, car just was junked basically. Sucks, but I guess finishing in the money isn't that bad.
How hard was it, though, to work back from lap number 2 incident to finish back here onto the podium? You had to pick up 5 spots overall, but it felt like it was an eternity out there, and you passed about 97 cars.
Yeah, while I was running basically by myself, you just got to really get into a solid rhythm, continue to put down fast laps. I know my spotter was telling me that Devin wasn't catching me, and I was catching the guys in front of us. Yeah, it was definitely hard. Like I said, just sucks, disappointed.
Well, the season that you had this year, you led 180 laps coming in. You won't add to that total here tonight. You completed over 325 laps of competition here in the 4 out of the 5 races that you competed in. You had 2 wins and 3. Now this will be 4 top 3 finishes. It's got to feel pretty good to know that every time you unload that 52 machine at the track that it's going to be quick.
Yeah, no doubt. We always try to give it our all, no matter what. Like Devin said, it really sucks that I missed that points race, but I was moving in everything. But ready for the off season, ready for season 2 to come out. See what Jeremy's got to say, and just go from there. Hopefully, we can unload race 1 of next season and start off on the same page.
Well, we'll let you get ready to go do some testing. I'm sure you still have things that you have to unpack out there at the new home. So who made this all possible all season long on this 52?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I want to thank Jonathan Gaston for making the car. Magnus Anderson and Mining Store for letting me use his rig while mine's getting shipped out here. And just my friends and family for all their support.
There you hear it from the 52 of Mark Keatman. He will finish in P number 3 here tonight, picking up 5 spots from the drop of the green flag after having some contact on lap number 2. Kind of negated him to a just salvage what you can kind of night. And race fans, I can officially tell you which driver has now won the points championship standings. All in all, after all the points were up and tallied, the driver that will win officially the season here tonight at the Concord Speedway for the weekly series, it is the driver of the 110. It is the Bang Energy Ryan Coon Motorsports number 110 of RS Center. RS, congratulations on the championship here tonight as you outlasted everybody for 5 weeks.
Yeah, thank you guys. being here for that one race, probably what got us this thing.
As you did compete in one race at a couple of your competitors, and talk about that one race. It actually looked there for a while that you weren't even going to be able to actually compete either in one race, so that would have put you kind of on a level playing field. I mean, is that really, do you think, what determined the outcome of the season?
Yeah, I think so. Devin and Mark, they was way better here than I was. They got this place figured out, and I've struggled at Concord every time I race here, so kind of used to it.
We can officially also tell you that we have never seen in our iRacing, calling careers, if you want to call it, you only led one lap all season long. You competed in over 325 laps. It actually looks like almost 400 laps total this season here at Concord, and only one lap led, but no victories. So you're a champion with one lap led and no victories.
I believe that. Absolutely.
I can honestly say we've never seen anything like that. But, you do take home the big prize at the end of the season. The button box, of course, is going to be all yours. Do you have a spot that you're going to mount that on the old rig?
We'll have to figure it out here. I don't have one of them fancy rigs like most guys, just play at my desk. But we'll figure it out.
Well, I know you have some issues occasionally working the computer, and especially Discord, as I look at your name over here and give you a good wink. But do you think you're going to be able to plug it in and use it as is?
Hopefully it's plug and play, right?
It is.
Yeah, thanks to them guys for giving out the button box. Actually, that's funny. Everybody seems to think that's me, but it's not. So.
Well, I can say after getting to talk to you a couple of times this season, which it's been my honor to get to talk to you, I'm going to say it's a good thing you're not the one building them. You're just going to be the one using them.
That's right. We'll stick to the vinyl career over here.
Well, you always had some really good-looking cars out there on the Speedway. Congratulations on winning the championship here for the weekly series at Concord. The red carpet is rolled out as you were standing on it, and the microphone is yours. And I know there's a lot of people through the iRacing series and back home that you really have to thank.
Yeah, first off, thanks to Jeremy for putting this on, you guys for doing the broadcast. Whoever else is the admin in this deal, that's bad. I don't know that. Thanks to them guys. Then Ryan Kuhn Motorsports, all of them guys. Devin, good job to him for the win. Bang Energy, man, go get you some.
Well, there you hear it. He's all jacked up on Bang Energy. RS Center Race Fans Year Point Series champion. He will be your Concord Weekly Series 2021 champion here for the Big Ten Super Series. Congratulations to RS Center for winning his virtual championship here tonight. He will go down into the record book as being the only driver that has won virtually here as a champion. Al, it has been a great season for these drivers, and Concord has a special place in all of our hearts.
It really does, and it's glad that we can come here virtually as we've documented over the last 5 weeks. This track no longer exists in the real world, and it's sad that that is the case, but we're able to come here virtually, enjoy it, and we are able to enjoy it for the last 5 weeks. These drivers, hats off to all of them, round of applause. There's this track, well, it's a difficult one. It's a very fun but challenging racetrack, and they did a great job mastering it, and I've listening to the driver interviews and doing the driver interviews over the last 5 weeks, these drivers have found a new love for Concord.
As we wish we could go visit the Concord Speedway, unfortunately, it is no longer standing. But here on the iRacing.com platform, this track will always live on. Just like the Big Ten Super Series that raced here at the Concord Speedway. Of course, we got to thank Jeremy Little, Chris Vale for being the race control this season. But Jeremy and Chris bringing back the Big Ten Super Series name here to the iRacing.com platform. A lot of champions, Jack Sprague just being one of them, that without paging through the notes here that I should have kept out here, but I did push him to the side. But I mean, names like that have gone through the NASCAR ranks and have become champions of their own in their series. I mean, now, of course, RS Center will have his name etched into the record book here virtually for the Big Ten Super Series. We look forward to following his iRacing career and his endeavors into the real world side of things to see if he can gain any more championships. But in closing here tonight from the Concord Speedway, we got to thank everybody that made this all possible all season long. Of course, starting with RS Button Boxes. Race fans, if you're in the market for a quality button box, you write it on paper, you sketch it out, you send it over to the guys over at RS Button Boxes. They will make your dream a reality for your iRacing rig. We also got to thank the Karma Salon and Day Spa for coming on board and being a continued supporter here of the Big Ten Super Series, along with Johnson Chassis. They have all your chassis needs for your real-world side of things. Tubular chassis and A-arms, GM metric, they have it all over there at Johnson Chassis. We also have to thank our friend Austin Edwards over there at the Edwards Setup Shop, providing all the setups for these drivers for the last 5 weeks right here at the Concord Speedway. And, of course, we got to thank all of you race fans for your continued support tuning in here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether you watch this weekly on our YouTube channel or live over on Facebook.com. In closing, though, my name is Roger Muth. That was Al Smith. It has been our pleasure to bring you all the racing action for the Big Ten Super Series, and we hope that you enjoyed the 5-week program here. But until we see you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we will see you at the races.